Hello. Welcome to another episode of Red Lotus Life. This is where we provide resources and tools to create a life that you love. We're also ASWB ACE providers, providing continued education for social workers and behavioral health professionals. And we are stoked to be here today because it's been a minute again, but we're excited because holy moly, the stuff that is happening in our world is amazing. We just kind of wanted to come in and share it with you.
Yeah, because it has been a minute, we just thought that we would pop on and share like what we have going on in each of our containers, what we have happening in Say Yes to Soul, what we have happening in Lunar Journeys, as well as the digital detox program. Um, we have been super busy, but super productive and just really loving all of the progress that's being made, as well as witnessing the transformation that's happening in each container.
Yeah. So let's talk about these containers because, I mean, this is just going to be a real and authentic conversation between the two of us because we haven't actually spoken about it with each other too much. It's just been wild. So I wanted to share so Say Yes to Soul, just to kind of catch everybody up with. By the way, shout out to all the members in Say Yes to Soul. It's been going since January of 2020. It's amazing what's been going on in that space. We are in the area of life of spirituality. We did the spirituality clear. So we do an emotional clearing session in there. It's been wild. Like, I'm talking wild. We did that like 4 weeks ago, and we're all still just, our minds are blown.
Yeah, we started that, I believe, January 13th. So we're about 5 weeks in on the integration, and it has just been, I would say, like, like a roller coaster, kind of like a wave, right? So
Mhm.
it's been really, really gentle in some ways, and then in other ways, it's been sort of like a volcano explosion, like when we're going on the ups, and then all of a sudden, like, whew, we come back to that breath. And that's one of the reasons why that we do these clears the way that we do. We actually do a root clear at the beginning of the month, and then we go and take the time over the next 2 months or over the period of 2 months in order to integrate fully the root clear that we actually do. And so, what that looks like is once we get towards the end of the second month, now we're embodying, we're implementing, and we're actually taking the steps that we need to do in order to create the new neural pathways so that yes, we can create the life that we love moving forward because we actually have done the work, we have embodied the work.
Mhm. Yeah. Spirituality is such a cool area of life because it's so personal. It's so personal and different for each and every person. So when we're talking about spirituality, we're not necessarily talking religion. We're talking about spirituality and what is the embodiment of spirituality? What is your relationship to your higher power? So what the context that we did for this clear was really amazing. Sarah, she took us through this amazing drop in. It was literally this clear channel that comes from the ethers, and then down through each chakra, the crown, third eye, throat, all of that, down through the body, through the chakras, down into the earth, grounded in this spirituality. So we like to say it's just very much like grounded, embodied sovereignty. And what does that look like? What does that feel like? And that has been powerful this time. It's always powerful because it's spirituality. So it's always powerful, but it's been awesome to see what has come up for each member in Say Yes to Soul. And also for ourselves. It's been wild.
Yeah, it has been wild. And I'd like to point out too that when we're talking about spirituality, like Lori said, this is what does it mean to you? What does it mean to us as a unique individual? Because that's actually going to look different to everyone. And so, as we are really landing this clear channel, what we see is that we get to notice where maybe there were some obstacles to our beliefs, where like maybe some dogma came into play, where there are places that we can let go, set boundaries, and we get to see. what it feels like to actually be that clear channel. We get to know and reflect upon, okay, how do my spiritual gifts actually come into play here? Because as that channel is cleared, we are now able to see those gifts more clearly. And we can see, okay, yes, my channel has been clear this whole entire time, or wow, this is what it feels like when it's really not blocked. And when we know that our channel is clear and we're in the mental body and doubting ourselves, we get to see that too. And so that's been a whole lot of the process for not only Lori and I, because we do our work with you in that container, but for others in the container with us. It's been
Mhm.
super fun.
It has been fun because the emotional block was grief and it was in the lung.
Yeah.
So, grief being the suffering caused by not letting go of the past. And so, if we think about the suffering that gets involved with spirituality, right, in general,
Mhm.
depending on how we were raised or, any of the conditioning that we may have received, it's it has been crazy to see with that intent, right? The context of that clear, grounded channel from source down into the earth and that sovereignty. It's like, wow, we're all seeing what is causing that suffering by not letting go of the past. So when you're talking about the boundaries and different things like that, like yeah, that's all part of our spirituality. It's part of the whole of who we are. So as spiral practitioners, we work with the five bodies. So that's mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic, and physical. And so it's a whole way of being. So that when we talk about, yeah, spirituality is not necessarily religion, it is our whole way of being. It's our whole self and remembering that. So whenever that's what we're working with. We are literally integrating grief. We're
Mhm.
integrating grief in the area of money, and it's actually not enough money. So when it's money, that can be financials, which I mean, look at the way of the world right now. There's a lot of people who are financially strained, or it can be the same frequency as worthiness. So it can be worthiness and are we worthy? Do we deserve? So it's interesting too, right? To be in spirituality and then worthiness comes up. And so
Mhm.
here we are letting go of the suffering that we've been holding on to from the past so that we have we're worthy of that wholeness. So it's just been like the aha moments that are happening have just been crazy.
They have been crazy. And for me, just feeling the heaviness of the grief as it is released. And then because the grief is held in the lungs, then what happens is we're able to expand, we're able to breathe in that spirit straight down the clear channel and experience the lightness, right? We're now able to experience the lightness, but in a grounded way. We're not lightness up here in our chakras or like our upper chakras. It's now whew, grounded,
Hmm.
anchored, which has
Hmm.
been really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that too because it's focused, right? Instead of it kind of just being scattered and all over the place, it's actually focused and channeled in this way.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that you just brought up the lung and that heaviness because some people like, and the embodiment of this work, you can literally feel it because some people have described it as feeling like suffocation, right? Like there's a
Mm-hmm.
heaviness on the lung. I feel like I can't breathe. And so as we've been integrating this release of letting go of that suffering from the past, we actually are able to expand, take that breath that actually becomes that channel again. It's been really cool to even play with the embodiment of that, of noticing the constriction, noticing the expansion of just the lung space. So it's been very cool. So many people are just, what did that member say the other day that was so good? She was talking about how for the first time in her life, she's actually seen the manipulation, she's seen the extortion, she's seen all of these things. And she's actually able to now set clear boundaries because she is letting go of that suffering piece, taking the wisdom from the past and now embodying the wisdom, not bringing the past with her, but bringing the wisdom of the past with her. And I thought, oh my gosh, that's so cool. That was so cool to just be like, yeah, let go of the past, but bring the wisdom and embody that.
Yeah, it was really cool because this is what happens when we're able to actually embody that wisdom. We can let go of the victim mentality, but we still have the wisdom to move forward so that now we can use that wisdom to be of service to others.
Mhm.
So we let
Yeah.
go of the emotional charge of the past. Not that we're forgetting the past and leaving it behind, we're just allowing the emotional charge to go so that now we can focus and direct the energy in a new and different way.
Mhm. Yeah, and that's exactly what she was saying. She
Yeah.
literally used the words victim mentality. She's like,
Hmm.
I am no longer in that victim mentality. And now she feels empowered to actually move forward. And she even said that, well, in the year of the conscious creator and this fire horse, it's like, I don't know what that looks like, but I know that there's no space for that. And that is huge. When we're talking, I think it's interesting too, in just this area of spirituality, because I do think a lot of people will get that confused with religion about what exactly are we working with and say it's the soul when we talk about the spirituality. Well, this is it. So yeah, we'd love for anyone to join us in that space if this is something that you're interested in. I can't remember what our next area of life is, but we'll be working with spirituality for I think the next month, right? Through March?
Um, through the end of February.
Through the end of February?
Well,
Because we're at the end of
oh,
February. So is it through the end of February? I don't know. I've got to look at
we
the calendar.
it might be March. I'm not positive right now either. We have a
I
lot
know
happening.
we're a little off our routine because of illness and different things like that.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we're a little off of that of like our actual schedule. We ended up starting it a little bit late because of that. And then we also started another round of group spiral. So I don't know, we'll have to check it out. But we would love for
Yeah.
anyone to join us at any time because it's just always ongoing and it's always a blast and you're surrounded by community who's doing the work with you. So it's really good.
Yeah, community, safety, support, all of those things that are present to allow ourselves to be witnessed so that we can actually step into the healing that we're meant to be doing.
Mhm. Yeah. Did you want to talk about any of the other things, or do you think this is good for today?
I think this is good for today. We can talk about the other things next time.
Yeah, I think so too. But this
Hmm.
was amazing. So we hope that you join us. If you have any questions or anything, please, or comments or anything, please drop them below. Thank you for watching. We're excited to show up in this space. It feels expansive after this clear that we've just gone through and that we're integrating. This space actually feels really expansive. So I think
Hmm.
you'll be seeing more of us here. So, yeah, please like, share, subscribe, send it to somebody else you know that might be exploring their spirituality, that might get some value out of this. And we would love to see you in that space. So you can check it out with the link below. Okay,
Hmm.
till next time.
Bye.
Bye.
And live your life today.